Decided to do a van tour, which is a bit ridiculous given it's our last video, but we realised we haven't shown everyone where we've been living the last year, so let's have a look. So this is our little house. I guess we'll start with the bathroom here. So this is our bathroom. We have our little porta potty toilet and our shower with an extractor fan. So this is our kitchen. As you can see, this is our sink, obviously. This tap has been absolutely amazing for us. So we use this to shower off our feet when we get back from the beach and stuff, which has been incredible. Also, having our soap dispenser here has been invaluable because you can't have stuff all over the sides when you're driving around. This is our freshwater tap, which is really useful. We don't always get drinking water available at campsites and petrol stations, so that's been great. Then we have our rubbish, so we did actually lose one lid at some point along the way, but it's really great having recycling and non-recycling. This was my idea. So this is our fridge magnet collection, which we are so proud of. So we seem to, whenever we see a fridge magnet, buy one, as you can see. So we do have a few more stashed away, ready to fill up a full-size fridge when we do eventually live back in a house again. So we went with 100 litre, which actually we're really happy with because a lot of other people that we've met along the way have had much smaller fridges and don't have a freezer compartment. So that's also been really useful for the cold weather to have ice cubes. So this is our cleaning cupboard under the sink, obviously. So this is where we keep all of our chemicals for the toilet, all our cleaning products, baby wipes, absolute must. So this is our miscellaneous cupboard. Obviously it's got a wine rack in there, that was an absolute must. This is Havana's food, extra storage, and down here is all our clothes, which we couldn't fit into the cupboards above the bed. And then this is our cooker. So this has actually been really great because a lot of people have like fixed cookers on their table, so it takes up surface area, but also we can cook outside, which is quite nice, so we do that sometimes for breakfast or dinners. So this is our crockery cupboard. We went with all plastic crockery, which has been a massive help because glass breaks all the time, as would plates, I imagine. These are our travel mugs, so Matt got these for me for our anniversary just before we left. Yeah, that's about it for there. So these are our food cupboards, so everything pretty much is contained. Valuable lesson for van life. So we try not to get glass as much as we can, just because how many times these cupboards have flown open has been very stressful. Hence why Matt, only probably a month before we got back, put these latches on, which has been amazing. This is our brain and bathroom. So in here we keep all our toiletries, but also at the back here we have all our electronic stuff. This is our solar controller, so that tells us how many watts we're bringing in. This is our battery charger, so when we plug into campsites we're able to recharge the batteries fully, and this is the battery reader. And this is our inverter. So here we have our fruit basket. Obviously every van life ever has a fruit basket that actually never ends up being a fruit basket. So this is where we keep the stuff that's usually out on the sides. We decided to use these windowsills as a sort of spice rack. We didn't actually have a plan for down here, but along the way it's become very useful. We also use the windowsills here as well. This was just a vacant space behind the seats and the counter here, but it's actually really useful to keep all our sun cream and things like that like I said, you can't have anything out on the sides ever, so that's been really invaluable. These are our benches. This is Matt's side and this is my side. So we actually made these bench cushions, so they're just foam underneath with some heavyweight fabric. These cushions, one cushion was made by me and one cushion by Gareth, so thank you very much for that. We have storage underneath both of these benches, so I'll show it under Matt's side because it's a little more tidy than mine. The reason we decided to put the benches here is because they're over the wheel arches, so it would have been a really tricky space to try and utilise. So it's worked out really well for storage for us. This is our table, which is really great because it stashes away under the bed. So that is amazing because in a van, the space is everything. The space above the benches was actually dead space, but I saw this idea on Pinterest, I think, and I just thought it was really amazing. So we've just screwed the lids of these jars into a block, screwed into the ceiling, so they'll never come down. And on the other side, we decided, because we're having our laptops out so much doing the video editing, it'd be really handy to have a space to keep them, because otherwise this was just dead space. This is our bedroom. So as you can see, we've got cupboards either side for all of our clothes. We decided to use storage cubes, which has been really, really handy. The most amazing thing about our van is probably the circulation system that Matt installed. So we have a fan here and we also have a hatch above our bed. So when we turn this fan on, it like pulls the air through, which was like super amazing during summer because it created a breeze over the top of us when we're lying in bed, which was really nice. The other favourite thing about the van is this extra counter space. So this is super useful for when we have dinner with friends and stuff like that, doing the washing up. It allows us a bit of extra counter space, which is super vital.
So the other part we haven't told you about yet is our systems and how things work in the van. You've obviously seen the sink and the water, but let's take you to the back and show you in the garage. Right, so this is the garage at the back of the van. You can obviously see the bed is up there, and then all the storage underneath the bed is the garage. Now, when we started, it wasn't this messy and chaotic, but as the years gone on, we've collected stuff and accumulated things. So if you take a look over here, we have our handy axe, which has been amazing when we're out in the wild and making fires and barbecues. Also got a shovel. We've got the 2 scooters, which have been brilliant for going around town, popping to the shops, that sort of thing, because obviously the van's 7 meters long and it's tricky to drive around small towns. So they've been absolutely fantastic. In here, we've got all of our long-term clothing storage. So we vacuum packed all of our summer stuff in the beginning, and halfway through we changed over to winter stuff. So if we have a look on this side of the door, we have our wheel clamp. We bought it for security so that if we were out and about, we'd feel safe that no one can steal the van. It's cheap and effective, but to be very honest with you, I don't think we've used it once. But there it is. Over in this section, we have all my tools, which is absolutely vital. Got the toolbox, spanners, screwdrivers, etc. And yeah, that's basically been absolutely invaluable because I've had to do quite a few repairs along the way. Things have gone wrong, so can't leave home without the tools. So over here you can see we have our fresh water tank. It's 175 liters fresh water, which you fill up at a campsite with the hose pipe through here, and that'll go down into the tank. From the tank, that splits up and goes one towards the shower and one towards the sink, and that allows us to cook and clean. If you have a look over here, we have a big 20 kilogram gas bottle, which is propane butane. That gas runs along here to the hot water geyser. It's a gas geyser which allows us to have hot water in the tap and the shower. So on this side of the van we have the grey water tank, which is the same size, 175 liters, and basically anything that goes down the sink when you're cooking and cleaning will come down and be held in this tank, and it can stay in there for, well, as long as you like, until it's full. And then when you get to a campsite, it's very simple. You have this hose which comes out, and then you just release the valve and you empty your grey water. So this is the main sort of hub of the van. Inside this compartment we have two massive batteries, 640 amp hours. Over here, this is where you plug the van in when you get to a campsite to give the batteries a deep charge. Circuit breaker, safety first. Little 12 volt plug. You do have the option of plugging things in directly from shore power. Not very glam, but in there you have the battery charger, which is what charges up the batteries, and at the bottom here amongst all the wiring you can see two massive batteries which goes all the way back. So if you have a look here on this side, we have our 2000 watt inverter. Basically what that does is it converts the power from 12 volt DC into 240 volt AC. In layman terms, basically what that means is you can then use sockets like this, like a normal household socket, and plug things in. So yeah, as you can see, there's quite a lot of storage. It has filled up throughout the year, but you've got your big battery compartment, all your electronics, inverter, solar controller, fresh water, grey water, barbecue, storage, tools, toys, everything you need. It's been absolutely brilliant having this space under the van. I really don't think we could have survived without it, to be honest. So that's basically everything in the garage and inside the main compartment of the van. The only thing we haven't shown you is the solar panels up on the roof. Well, solar panel. Don't know if you remember, but in Albania we had a crosswind come over the van. I hadn't fastened it down and we smashed and lost the solar panel.
For our last video, we decided to do some fun stats. Actually, stole an idea from our friend Heather.
Purchase price of the van?
6,000. Cost of the build?
6,000, which brings us to a total of 12 grand. Total miles driven?
25,659.
Total countries visited?
15.
Total days traveled?
301. Attempted break-in?
1. Coldest temperature?
Minus 20 degrees Celsius. Hottest temperature?
45 degrees Celsius. New van life members?
1. We're making our way back to England now. We've got 5 days till we cross over on the Eurotunnel. We're really excited to get home and see all our family and friends. We're also heading to South Africa next month, which is super exciting, so more videos to come. Crossing on the Eurotunnel, so
That's what loves us so.
I know.
Useless.
We are 5 days away from crossing on the Eurotunnel, so we are really...
Go on, do it again.
Can't stop saying so.